going on, everybody? My name's Harry James. The one thing I like about college football, particularly this week of OU Texas in college football, is unlike in music to where things go in and out and things kind of fade in and out. And first they're cool, now they're not cool anymore. This game is always cool. They always played in Dallas, in their state fair, and it's between Oklahoma and the Texas Longhorns. Hook 'em down, people. Put your horns down. All right, we will preview the Texas Longhorns. Coming up next, Boomer Sooner 1982. Don't go away!
We beat Texas!
And welcome back to the show, everybody. My name's Harry James. The next preview, the Texas Longhorns. But before we get to that, thanks to Barry Schwitzer for helping me in this preview show. Now, the Texas Longhorns have their home at DKR. That's Darrell K. Royal Stadium, Memorial Stadium, named after the former Sooner Darrell K. Royal, even though the Sooners and Longhorns never play there. Last year, the Longhorns and the Sooners, of course, Texas beat Oklahoma in the regular season. They finished that regular season, by the way, with 10-4 overall record in the bowl game, 7-2 in Big 12 play, second in the conference, and an invite to the Big 12 championship, where the Sooners won the ring. So the golden hat goes to Texas, but the rings and the Big 12 title and the ship goes to Oklahoma. With that, there was an outside shot that Texas would get not a college football playoff, but a New Year's Six bowl, which they did, where they met Georgia in the Sugar Bowl out in New Orleans. And, well, by just these words said by Sam Ehlinger himself, the Texas won. We're back! Yeah, he said it. 28-21, they beat Georgia. Their head coach is Tom Herman, the Herminator. You might not like him, you might like him. He's a little bit too cocky for me, but maybe that's just me being an outsider and an OU fan and not liking the Longhorns, and maybe the Longhorn fans like that kind of endearing stuff. Whether they do or they don't, Longhorn fans do like having a quarterback that can actually come back and can actually compete for Big 12 championships like Sam Ehlinger did, and he'll do it again. Sam Ehlinger. Last year, Ehlinger, number 11, Sam Ehlinger, passed for 1,834 yards to match with 25 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. 48 was his longest career pass, and he averaged 235.1 yards per ball game in the air last year for the Longhorns of Texas. The Texas rushing game belongs to Cavante Ingram and aforementioned Sam Ehlinger. Cavante Ingram, more the natural running back, to go with 142 carries. He had 708 yards on the ground, 3 touchdowns. His longest run was from 39 yards out. And in 13 games, he averages 54.5 yards rushing per ball game for the Horns of Texas last year. Well, Ehlinger, number 11, Sam Ehlinger, leads also the team in rushing, 164 yards at the end with carries to go with 482 yards on the ground, 8 touchdowns. His longest run was 23 yards. He averages 34.4 yards on the ground in 14 games last year for the Longhorns of Texas. So he's their leading rusher. He's their leading passer. He can't be their leading receiver, can he? Well, no, he can't, and he isn't. But you got to have some players returning that can actually catch the ball. They do have some players coming back that can catch the ball. Number 9, Colin Johnson. That's the big one to watch out for. He's number 9. He had 68 receptions at the end of last season, 985 yards in the air, 7 touchdowns. 45 was his longest catch of the year, 75.8 yards in the air, in 13 games for the Horns. Well, the Horns also have number 6, Devin Durnevay. Durnevay, 41 receptions last year to go with 546 yards in the air. He also had 7 touchdowns. His longest catch was from 48 yards out. He averages 39.0 yards per ball game in the air, and he played in 14 games last season for Texas. All right, that's your offense. Defense, you got to have some players coming back on defense if you're going to get back to the Big 12 championship. They do. Both defensive backs, by the way, leading the team in tackles, returning. First, we'll start with number 19, Brandon Jones. Brandon Jones last year finished with 90 tackles. He didn't have a forced fumble, but he did have 2 fumbles recovered and a pick as a defensive back playing in 10 games last year for Texas. While Caden Stearns, number 7, he's the sophomore that everybody's going to want to watch out for. Get this one, guys. He didn't have any fumbles forced or fumbles recovered. But from his defensive back slot, he had 4, count them up, one, not 2, 3, but 4 interceptions last year from his defensive back slot in just 13 games. Their head coach, Tom Herman. The Herminator was a 1997 graduate from California Lutheran and was the head coach in 2015 and 2016 for the Houston Cougars. Houston, as Mike Steele would say. After that, 2017 to present, he's been all Horns all the time, baby. All Horns all the time with Texas. Career record in college football, 92 games at the end of it all. Tom has a 53-39 record. That's a 73.1% winning clip, and a 3-0 record in bowl games. Now, he's been to a bowl in each of his 4 seasons that he's coached college football. He missed the 2016 bowl game, by the way, because of accepting the job at Texas. Speaking of Texas, Texas has 4 divisional titles in the Stoops-Riley era. Won one in 01, 05, 08, and 09. Now, the 08 title division went to Oklahoma. They tied with Tech in Oklahoma. Oklahoma won the outright championship there in 2008, meaning that Texas would only have 2 official conference championship games, bowl rings, bowl invites to the BCS. Both of them national championship invites, by the way. Got one, of course, in 2005 with Vince Young, and later got one in 2009 with the Colt McCoy. All right, guys, that will do it for this week. as we previewed the Longhorns of Texas. Next week, we'll preview the West Virginia Mountaineers. The game will be in Norman that week, so there's nothing to worry about there. A week after OU Texas in Norman, pretty good record, since that man came to Norman in Bob Stoops. All right, guys, thanks for watching. My name's Harry James. You can catch this on all my blogs and everything else you want to catch, because I do blogs every single day. I try. You can catch them in my videos on Harry James Taylor on Facebook, also on the Twitter at HypeManHarry. You can catch the videos also on the YouTube Boomer Sooner 1982. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and Boomer Sooner, everybody. See y'all next week. Peace. Horns down. Sorry, Eddie.